We're in the warmer side. So no,
We want to
I
warm
don't
up.
wish. I don't wish I was British.
Cause like if you were British, right?
Great people though.
I love the British. I love a British breakfast.
Damn.
English breakfast. Let me correct that. But I don't like the beans in the morning.
But you're a beaner.
I'm a beaner, but I'm that doesn't mean that I eat beans every time in the
Can we
morning.
say
Okay,
that? Can we say beaners?
you can say beaner. Yeah.
I mean, we know what it means. We know the context that I'm talking about, but I'm saying, like, can we as Venezuelans say that? Are beaners considered anything south of the US border?
Yeah, I mean, for people that say beaners in a derogatory way, they don't care where you're from down there. You're a beaner to them. So in that sense,
Just like that teacher in high school.
right, the high school teacher that we had that was kind of racist to us. But hey, at the end of the day, I respected. He was standing his ground. We stood our ground, and we told him what's up. So look, check it out.
We did tell him what's up.
So look, check it out. Check it out. So beaners, yeah, we're beaners, but we're proud. Hashtag proud beaner. Yeah. Anyways, so how you been? How are you preparing now that you have to move back to Miami? I understand that now. I would assume you're in the thoughts of, okay, where can I work? How is it looking in the world of kitchens and chefing in Miami? You're gonna be back now after what, 7 years? What has changed? Is it better for a chef now
I
in
don't
Miami?
know. Oh, it has gotten better. Yes, there's definitely a lot more restaurants now. It seems like there's new restaurant every week, and a lot of people that I know are like in their own thing too, and working for someone else but higher position. So that's good for me. I can always knock on that door. I'm gonna try to go solo, like find a job my way, like from my own. Try not to bother the contacts just yet.
Right.
But if I feel like I'm in a dire position that I really need a job
Then
now,
you call up the boys.
then I call up the boys. Yeah, but a lot of people have reached out and like, oh, let me know when you're here. I know so and so, and I'm like, thank you. Just let me settle in. Let me find it, on my own, and I'll think of you when I'm in a bad position.
No, and that's a great little thing for people to jot down, especially the younger ones in the podcast, right? Some of them that are going to festivals and doing all sorts of things, staying in tents. Like, let's say you got some contacts that you can hit up for certain things. Don't waste those contacts on just anything, right? Like, hold that for when you really need it. Try to get the shit done on your own until you're like in that situation where like, hey, my kid has no food, my wife is gonna leave me. All right, let me hit up the contacts.
In this time that I was looking for a job, I had a couple of people like, oh, let me know, and I'll hit someone up and find you a job. But I didn't want to use that. I didn't want to use that contact, because what if it goes sideways? What if it's a shitty job, or what if I don't like it and I have to leave for whatever reason? Then I'll probably lose the ability of having a contact again. Maybe I won't lose a
Yeah.
friend, but I won't lose. I'll lose, him wanting to set me up for another job.
That's the problem with like recommending people just with anything. Like I remember my girlfriend recommended her friend to work at the company, and then they hired her, but the friend was like kind of useless.
Yeah, yeah,
And
no.
then now my girlfriend has to kind of like be like, oh shit, I vouched for her, but I didn't know she was retarded. So now in
That's
your
why
case,
I don't recommend.
yeah.
I don't
So
recommend
it's
people
better to just go on
like
your
that.
own. Also, like, oh, I have a friend that's a lawyer. He can help you with. No, don't recommend it, because then if he gets fucked over, hey, bro, remember the house I got refinanced and I lost because that fucking lawyer that you got me, he was a
Yeah.
fraud. So don't recommend. So if you're a good
Yeah.
friend to somebody and he asks, hey, can you recommend this and that? Some guy that can work on my pool. Sorry, bro, I don't know nobodies.
Even to a lower degree, don't recommend music. Don't recommend any food to eat.
Right.
Just
Pretty
don't
much just keep to yourself.
keep it to yourself. Gatekeep
Yeah.
your shit.
Yeah. Barely talk. Okay, but justify those though. The lesser things, like why not recommend foods and movies and shit like that.
No, movies I'm down because we usually recommend movies. So I'm down to keep doing that. Um but food, it might be touchy, like that maybe that person doesn't eat, let's say, fish, but you're recommending a fish restaurant or a seafood restaurant, but you don't know that. Maybe you guys are not that close yet. Maybe the restaurant that they had a bad day. Maybe they were selling 12-day-old fish, and your friend gets sick, and then he'll come after you like, "Oh, you made me sick." So don't recommend food. Don't recommend music. What if I'm not into reggaeton?
All right, but damn, you're okay. So
I'm hating, but
what's the concept like to you? What's the concept of like a friend, a relationship, like that you share interest with?
well, for
Hi,
example,
bro, did you hear the new song of Don't Tell Me What Fucking Music You Like, bro?
no, I'm usually more like, oh no, I haven't heard it. I don't know who that is.
Also, you act like you never heard of it just so that you can deny the conversation.
Right. Well, most of the times I don't want to have a conversation with anyone.
Okay. Great. No, this is it's gonna go great because you're in a podcast every week.
No, no, but it's a different situation. You and I know each other for 20 plus years. I
Okay, so
don't,
you mean strangers?
strangers. Well, unto what degree? Because the people at work, you work with them every day, but they're still strangers, right? And I have people come up to me like, "Oh, have you ever tried this restaurant?" I'm like, "Is it good?" Well, so.
Okay.
You only go for one dish.
Let me compromise for you. I get what you're saying. I think essentially, technically, you're wrong to say that you shouldn't recommend food. Now, I will give you this. If you're going to recommend food, you need
Make it
to
good.
have. Well, yeah, that's of course obvious. But furthermore, you gotta make sure that you have the right type of relationship with this person to be able to recommend that. Like, I wouldn't recommend food to people I don't know. I just met you because, again, I do realize that is a delicate place to go to. However, for the people that are closer to you, I myself consider to be somebody that can appreciate food and can say, okay, what things are good and what things aren't. So when I have enough confidence and I have enough sort of time with you that I feel comfortable with you, then I can recommend some food to you and sort of confidently trust that it's gonna go well. So is that kind of make sense to you?
What if you recommend it and that day the food is not great? Something
but
happened that made that
okay,
experience
but
for that person wrong.
It's
and
like
then that person's
check it out.
just gonna be
It's
like,
like check it out. You come to Spain, right? I took you to many places that I recommended, and they were well. Thankfully,
our relationship is different.
Right, but I'm talking about the same thing. I just told you that I only would do this with people like you or other friends that I'm close to.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do it with a stranger. But what I'm trying to say is that, let's say, even if it's a friend of mine that's not as close as you and me, and he's like, dude, can you help me out with things? I'm like, look, I can recommend these things, go to it. And then he goes and has a bad time. He tells me, I'm like, oh shit, man, fuck, my bad. Now, I will say, at least I try to give you things that I know are good instead of you running into just any random restaurant in the city that's going to fuck you over. And also, these aren't restaurants where you're going to spend a huge amount of money. These are very decently priced restaurants. Nothing like Chef Maurice goes to where he spends $2,000 on a night.
Have I ever recommended a restaurant to you that's been super expensive?
Well, you don't know many restaurants here in Madrid, but we went to one that you recommended, a meat one that was quite pricey, I would say, but not to the Michelin pricing that you talk about.
Was it bad? I
No,
need
it
to
was
know
really
these
good.
things.
No, it was really good.
Okay. I don't remember. I mean, I remember we had the steak, but I don't remember what else we had. And a tomato salad.
Yeah, tomato salad. No, the food was really good, but I
food was
felt that
good.
it was quite pricey for the amount of it.
Okay.
And then later I found other restaurants that like are kind of that quality or more, and that are much cheaper. So I
Much
just felt
cheaper.
that the place was kind of like boasted up. I don't know if it was one of those places where famous or people with money go to, so they can price them a little bit more. But the quality was there. It was good quality meat, nevertheless.
Did your family have fun?
Yeah, they liked it. And it
Yeah,
was good
yeah.
food.
I
It
think we
was
all
good food.
thought the same. It was a little expensive, but it was good.
Expensive for what it was, not that it
Right,
wasn't
right, right,
good.
right.
But I mean, it was still within sort of range of, nothing crazy. But also
It's not U.S.
Spain,
prices.
yeah, right. It's not like some crazy shit.
I think what we ate, we could have spent like $500
In the
in a
US,
U.S. restaurant. Yeah,
no, I would say more.
more.
Yeah, because I remember we paid there over 300.
Oh, that I don't
So,
remember. I didn't remember that part.
oh
But
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So I would say it was double or more than that in the US. But yeah, I mean, the US, you're gonna get fucked more. But I'm talking about even more expensive. Like you say, you go to the north of Spain, and it's like 150 or 250 per person in a Michelin, restaurant. Like that shit is pricey. Like 250 per person.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
I'm
guess
not.
it'll fall into the same category of the food is great, the quality's there. It's just maybe too much. But you also get a lot of food. Certain restaurants, you get like 20 dishes. Smaller ones, but 20 is still a lot.
Yeah, but I wouldn't justify those prices
Would you ever go to
myself.
one of those restaurants?
I would, but I would need to have a lot of money, and then that's like a one-time thing that I do it. And when I do it, I'll do it with you. So make sure that you have the right one in mind when that time comes.
My schedule is open. The money's
Okay.
not there yet, but
Okay.
once we get it, we can go.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
a couple in
So
mind.
okay, please keep them in noted, because when things go well, then I'm gonna call you for that. Now that you're going to Miami again, thinking about the jobs you can get there, are you open to experiencing with new culinaries from different countries, different regions, or are you searching more for a specific culinary, or are you more like, hey, I don't care about the culinary, but I'm just looking for a restaurant that I can feel has all the tools and the things needed for me to succeed there? Like, what is it that you're looking for?
Hmm.
By
All
the
these
way,
are
this is
great
being live
questions.
streamed to LinkedIn.
Just so I get a great job. I don't know. I'm 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 open to new things because I think that's what my career has consisted
Pride
of.
Month, Pride Month.
I'm open to new things for sure. I mean, I've worked Thai, I've worked Japanese, I've worked Eastern Mediterranean. So I've worked in several places.
And when you
Different.
work Thai in the industry, it's considered you worked ladyboy.
A lady boy, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know. I want to try something new, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be like in a restaurant kitchen or like private chef. I don't know. I want to do something different.
What
Still
if it's
keep the
like
same.
a chef in a yacht that takes
I'll
rich
fucking
people?
do that.
You'll do that.
I'm
Takes
do that.
rich people
Hell
in the
yeah.
in the channels of Miami.
But you see, I know people who know people with that kind of money or enough to have a private chef. I know that kind of people. We're not homies, but they can always hook it up. And I don't
Okay.
know if I want to burn that contact just yet.
No, don't burn it just yet. Now, how do you feel about being the personal chef of a very rich family that you cook at their house, you cook in their yacht, and you just have to do it 5 days a week. You get paid really well. They don't really pressure you. You do you as long as you give them their food. Like you do you with your time. But you don't know what the family guy does, right? Like the husband, to make money. You don't ask either,
Nope. Nope.
but
You can't ask.
you do get paid cash all the time, and
Tax free.
and yeah, and you, and the guy is a bit mysterious. What do you do? He
He's
pays you
gone to
well,
Colombia. He goes to Colombia like 5 times a month.
right?
He pays well. I mean, I see nothing. I say nothing.
Right. You're just a cook.
I'm just cooking for the fam.
That's like the premise of a show in HBO, The Cook. It's just a cook that has to sort of deal with like seeing all this crazy shit, and he's like, "Yo, I just get paid and cook. That's it." The cook.
Then I'll get the owner would come up to me. He's like, "Oh, we're doing this barbecue in Colombia, and we need you to come in for the weekend. Are you available?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me just look into tickets." He'll be like, "No, no, no, I'll send you a private
Right.
jet. You just gotta be there Friday, and then you'll leave Monday morning." I ask no more questions.
And you're down.
I'm down.
Okay.
I'll go over there, and every single food category is just displayed there for me.
But like no questions asked, you're down
No
like
questions
syndrome.
Like the syndrome, yes.
Okay. And once there, obviously, needless to say, it's gonna be the vibe of the Cocorino Romano in the building.
Right.
It's gonna be snowing in Colombia. So, and when in Rome, I guess, right?
When in Rome, you roam.
Rome. That's I think that's how the saying goes.
So yeah, I mean, if it's there, if the quality is good, which I think that's what I've heard, that the quality's been is very good,
or so they say.
And I'll partake, and I'll
Okay.
partake in some lessons.
Okay. Just make sure you take a tester for the fentanylskis. And
I think it's
that's
a
it.
pure shit.
Yeah, it's a pure ski. It's coming from the. It's like coming from the cow directly,
Right.
so to speak. Okay, no, I'm just trying to help you out so that you can think about the different options that can come to you while in Miami, because people don't understand. If you live in Miami, not only are you able to find endeavors in as a chef in restaurant, right, in like conventional ways, but there might be like, hey, bro, we got a dude that needs a chef every weekend in his penthouse in Brickell, and don't ask why, but there's gonna be a bunch of bad bitches there, a lot of that Cocorino Romano, and they just want you to make some fire food and change it up. The only requirement is to change it up every time, and that's it. And don't ask questions.
I'm down. I'll be there.
You're down like syndrome.
Even if, I think even if the pay sucks, I would still be part of that.
Damn, bro.
Imagine if the guy's just like, "Hey, you have a private parking spot on my building."
Damn, you're okay. Now you're selling yourself short. You see, that's why I'm training you, because when that time comes, you gotta shoot up.
You're right.
I mean,
you're right.
Shoot up doesn't mean like don't shoot up the things that they're shooting up. I'm saying shoot up your value, like he's like, hey guy, I can only pay you 10,000, bro. I can only do 15, man, but I'm gonna do it well.
How hard? I would love to interview somebody who has been a private chef. Like, how hard is it to get your first job? Somebody who maybe the money's not great at first. I don't know how that world works, but I would love to be part of it. I think
I knew a
it could
guy
also
that
be
was
schedule.
I knew a guy that was a chef for like a rich person in Venezuela, and he told me
Okay.
like he was super nice. He got paid well, and dude, he just like made food for these people, and he loved it. And because that's something like, because that'll be fire, right? Because like you don't have the pressure of cooking 200 plates a shift. You're just cooking for one family, and imagine the family's cool peeps. Even though they're rich, they're not, they got their foot on the ground. They're not like, pieces of shit.
Yeah.
They're not like the family from, the White Lotus, if you've seen the third season. Tsunami. So what I'm trying to say is, imagine you get like a family like that. That would be fire, right? Is that
Right.
something that you think would be cool?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And you become friends with like Timmy, he's 13.
No, I don't want to become friends with Timmy.
No, not friends, but like he says hi and shit. He's like, oh, thank you, Chef Maurice.
Okay. I'll tell him to watch us. Maybe he can learn a thing or two.
Right? It's like, Timmy. Watch it. No, don't tell them anything about this or you lose the job. I'm being serious. Don't ever tell them.
What else? Yeah, I know people who were private chefs. I don't have contact with them anymore, but and they would get their American Express from the owner, and like he'll be in charge of going to the supermarket, getting everything he needed for the
So you
the
thought about
weekend.
this as an option, right? That this could be something you end up doing, like cooking for a drug cartel pin,
I'm Downskis,
right?
like the syndrome.
Okay, for sure. No, because I think it's important. You're going to Miami. You need to have your options open. You need to know what you're going against, right? This is the concrete jungle. It is very dangerous these days, Chef Maurice. It's a savage place, and I just want you to be sure that yeah, and you're prepared for it. You grew up there, but just it's gotten a little more shady without the years. A lot of the immigrants.
I think it's been like a year and a half since I've been,
Okay.
maybe a year. So I'm expecting a lot of change structurally, but not people wise.
Right.
Like
No,
the
I
people
mean
will
it's just
be
more of the people that were there.
right, right. Is it the good people or the bad people?
It's a lot
Are
more of
they
the bad people.
are they sending them to El Salvador or no?
No, they're not. Not all
No.
of them. There's too many. So just,
Oof.
but no, it's no, but it's good to grow up and see the sort of melting pot. It's nice for the kids.
Should I go
nice.
back to should I go back to our high school?
Go, but you're gonna have to make an appointment. But because I bet that shit is all closed up because they close them down so nobody can go in because of the things that happen now.
Oh, did you see that we had like a alumni
Yeah,
alumni thing?
yeah.
I haven't seen the picture. I think it was this weekend that just passed.
You know what happens to me? I look at the because we graduated 2007, and when I look at the picture, like somebody put the picture of like the whole class and shit. There's a lot of people that I don't remember at all,
Same.
and then I'm like,
Same.
fuck. But again, I went to that school like the last 2 years, so maybe that's a way I can justify it. But there's a lot of people that I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you is. So I don't know if I even care about going to these alumni things because I don't know a lot of the people.
Could you imagine like one of them come, hey, Kiko, what's up? Remember when we used to do this? And you're like, who the fuck
I'm
are
like,
you?
get away from me, lady. She's like, you finger blasted me at prom. Get out of here. I'm Stephanie.
Wait, is that?
Wait, is that you? Why do you look like a refrigerator?
Or maybe she's a crack whore.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's valid too. Ah, Kiko, I'll suck your dick for $20. Why? Get out of here, Stephanie. I know you were always like this.
How do you feel about alumni? Well, you're telling me
Fuck
you know
them.
alumni. What
No,
is it?
I ain't about that life.
I'm like, I don't want to go, but there's certain people I would love to see how they look like now. Not, I wouldn't pay because apparently you have to pay for a ticket. I wouldn't pay to go for it, but I would love to see, I don't know, Kelly from 10th grade. That she just,
It's awkward, right?
it is, it has to be awkward because maybe the same people, they would think the same, like, who the fuck is this guy? I can't
Yeah.
believe I graduated with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess it'll be fun. But the crazy thing is, in 2 years, it's gonna be the 20 year
20 years, bro.
since we graduated high school, and that makes me feel
Fuck.
that I should really start investing in a hole in the cemetery because time
Shit.
goes super quick, bro.
And I think I know someone's niece is graduating that year. Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa, bro.
bro, it's crazy, man. Imagine, bro, if
Swear.
when we wake up, like this is all happening, like in a world much bigger, and aliens are smoking us out of a bomb, bro.
Imagine this is all a dream. We just wake up back in 10th grade.
Right.
Fuck.
And fucking Miss DeMario is there teaching us English and shit. Do you think, and be honest with this, do you think that you're going to land a really nice, posh job cooking in Miami?
That's my hope. That's what I'm hoping for. I think that there's a lot more money now in that city.
Because even like a nice hotel in a skyrise building, boom, just chefing it out. I'll be honest with you. Even though you said it's grown a lot, in Miami, there's a lot of restaurants that have shit food that's super expensive. So you can come with your abilities. You can come with your, technique, with all your experience, your Japanese knife. You come through. And when you come through, they're going to know what's good. And you can like be working in a fire ass hotel and it's sky rise, with little bossa nova music in the background. Cocorino Romano in the afternoons. It's Miami. I think it's medicinal in Miami. The Cocorino.
I don't want to be part of that. I've heard too many bad stories about chefs doing the cocorino on the line.
No, of course you're not gonna be part of it, but you want to be part of it.
Part of it, right.
Hey, you're not gonna part of it, but you're gonna be like, hey, what's up with the cocorino romano part of it? Like you want to be in okay. Let me put it this way. Yeah, you're not gonna partake in the cocorino romano. Literally, you have a kid. You don't want to get a fucking, death note or whatever the hell with the fentanylskis, of course. But you don't want the other younger people in the restaurant thinking like, oh, what's up with this whack dude? Let's not say anything about the cocorino romano. You want them to be like, hey, yo, what's up with the cocorino romano? You're like, hey, yo, what's good with the cocorino romano? Yo, have fun, guys. Make sure that you grind it well, if you know what I'm saying, so that they can think you're still cool and you're part of the zone. Getting the zone out of zone. You feel me?
What if I just go back to all the restaurants that I worked at?
What do you mean?
And let's say I go back to the first restaurant I ever worked at, and I was the new line cook, and I didn't know anything. I still don't know anything, but I get to go back and start anew from like a knowledgeable cook just going back to where it once started its career.
And like, what's the point of it?
All the knowledge that I grabbed throughout my career, I just go back and display it at the first job I had. You see, I wasn't a fucking dumbass, chef.
You prefer to make minimum wage just to show them.
Show them that I know.
Like the owner is not even the same owner, so you're just yelling at some guy. He's like, no, I believe you, man. I just wasn't there. I wasn't the owner then. I was worthy. My dad loved me. It's crazy.
Maybe I can go to one of the restaurants that I worked at that closed down, and then just cook at that space, whatever that space might be.
What if you go back to
office.
one of those restaurants that you thought was shit? You go back there, and then the guy that was a dick continues to be like a line cook making shit money, and you're better now, and you get in there and you're like, yeah, you see, you're still there, you fucking idiot.
You never made it.
Is that something that will make you happy?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
You're not like that. You're better than that, Chef Maurice.
I'm better than that. Thank you, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
You're better than that.
I don't know. Maybe no. I definitely want to try something new. I don't know if it's going to be a new restaurant or a new gig, private chef or something. I still want to do. I love cooking. Sometimes I don't love being in a restaurant. It's hard. It's not an easy job. You gotta take shit from the owners or the chefs that you don't need to.
What's the most ideal way for you to monetize cooking that you love, but you subtract all of the elements that are annoying to you? Now, of course, we need to find a way how it makes money. But
right.
What's the perfect setup? And so imagine either you have a very little small restaurant that you operate your own, or you have a channel where you're showing how to cook and doing your recipes, and that makes you money, like, or you're working for a Michelin star restaurant, but you're the head chef and you have full autonomy. Like, what's do you think? And this can vary as you go along in life. But now, if you were to think about it, what's the ideal way that you can monetize cooking, where you feel comfortable and you don't have the annoyances that you have in other sort of positions within the cooking world?
You don't want to be answering to someone. You want to have your own thing. Make your own decisions. So I guess that eliminates a bunch of problems that there has been or there will always be. Because by you making the decisions, you have no one else to blame but yourself. If the decision's great, then you're doing great. If your decision's
Right. So
wrong,
what would that be?
it could be from owning, your own thing to being, I was gonna say like a private chef, but maybe you don't have full autonomy there. Maybe Timmy has a peanut allergy,
Right.
and he's Timmy, a fucking bitch about it.
And Timmy, we'll be better off if Timmy wasn't with us anymore.
Part of the picture, right?
Yeah. But unfortunately, his rich mom wants to keep him alive, despite all of the, medical allergies he has, telling us that no, he shouldn't continue with us.
And I don't know how it's in Miami now, but at least private chefs in California, you see the families that put out an ad to look for and it's starting to get very complex. Like, we can only do gluten in the mornings,
right?
But other than that, we're gluten allergy. We're vegan, vegetarian, but sometimes we eat egg and cheese. So it doesn't make sense. And they have like all these new allergies that are being more common now. I can eat peanuts on Sunday, but not on Saturday.
Right.
But other than that, I could die from peanuts. I
need my asshole clean by Sunday because I get railed on my boyfriend.
And maybe some families will take advantage of you. One time I saw an ad for, it literally said private chef. And then it says, cook for the family, do the grocery shopping. But then after 5 p.m., you would have to drive Timmy to soccer. And so
I think you call that a slave.
It's like from 5 to 6, you take Timmy to soccer, and then you have to go pick up Bella from dancing class.
Once you're back at home, you can start vacuuming the house and cleaning it, and then you can leave at night.
Make sure the kitchen is clean. Make me a sandwich if I need one.
Bitch.
Kind of situation.
Right. Kind of situation.
The ad said that, bitch, at the end.
So sometimes these ads are like, hey, are you looking for a chef or are you looking for, a work like a staff?
An assistant / right. It paid $140,000 a year.
Okay, not bad. But for
Not
California,
bad, but...
and I have to take Timmy to fucking soccer
and wait for him.
Fuck Timmy, he sucks because of his allergy. He can't run fast, and I have to cheer him up even though he sucks.
About $2,700 a week. I don't think it's bad.
Without after taxes and shit.
Well, I was hoping for cash under the table.
Oh.
For us, the illegals.
You're not even illegal. Chef Maurice's like, no, I know, but it just makes more sense if you just give me cash. That's how fucked up the U.S. is, bro. It's like, people want to be paid cash, like even legal ones. They're like, bro, can we just get cash so we don't get taxed on this? Because it's ripping us apart. You know what I mean? Like, and the world is just being like, everybody's just starting to learn how to live with less, I'm starting to like recreate the foods I like to go out and eat in restaurants. I'm recreating them at home. So that's kind of like the way to do it. Okay, so chefing comes in different ways, and I like the way you're thinking. You're open.
Yeah, I'm open to anything and everything. I want to be a I want to be in a boat on a yacht on Saturday, cooking for this like white motherfuckers who don't know
Right.
what the veal that I'm about to serve them is.
Right. And because
They're
like at
gonna
the end of the
think it's
day, yeah, they might be on crank or whatever it is they do, right? They're high on the cocorino, but they're still human beings. And when they taste that veal, they're gonna go insane,
right.
and
Maybe
they're
an
gonna offer
orgasm.
you. They're gonna offer you shit like, hey, bro.
Maybe they'll be like, sit with us, and then I'll sit
Right.
next to these two blonde, beautiful women.
Right.
But I can't do anything. I'm a family man.
Yeah, you're a family man, but you just happen to be there because of your profession.
Right.
And they
I'm
are
not against
definitely,
it.
yeah, no, like, and the ladies next to you, they're definitely have not had any surgery to enhance parts of their body. But this is just a decision that you couldn't sort of deny because you were there. That's part of your job. You're just cooking for these people, and part of
Right.
it is you describing to them your experience so that they can know inside of them that you're not just a chef, but you're a person that connects with humans, connects with foods, and makes that connection biologically, so that everybody in there can feel the food and taste it, but also sense it. Amen.
I'm hoping Tanner, whose daddy works at in Wall Street, would take me to, I don't know, to Vail for the winter so I can cook for them
Right.
in Vail in Colorado, and
Yeah. He's kind of a douchebag, but hey, if you can get
but
that connect,
he's cool with the crew.
if you can get that connect, he knows people that knows people.
And if you know people, he knows people. Like if you know people, he needs to know that people.
Right.
So
Tanner, I mean, Tanner is one of those, sad to have him, sad if you don't. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a necessary evil. You need a Tanner in the group. Somebody that knows a crooked lawyer,
his daddy Mitch works in Wall Street.
And when I say works in Wall Street, what it really means is he does insider trading for Martha Stewart. You know
Maybe-
Bernie Madoff? You know Enron, motherfucker?
Could you be a private? Could you be a private musician for families?
Musician, yes, I want
musicians.
to. I want to be a private musician. A private musician for a family? That would be weird though, right?
Just like being in their
Living room.
in the living room with the
And
guitar.
they just ask you like, hey, can you play me Yellow by Coldplay? And you just like,
I'm
look
so
at the
yellow.
stars. That would be weird. That's kind of odd.
Or if you play the piano, they have a big piano in the living room.
Because in the past, like kings and shit, they will have jesters, like comedians and musicians that would play things to them. But because nobody else had access to that, so that shit was gangster. That was kind of like, but today, having a chef, that's normal. But having a musician that just plays songs for you is weird. Like I've heard of comedians, right? I like stand-ups and comedians, and I've heard them say that they've done like private shows where like somebody pays them a lot of money to go do their birthday party, and when they get there, it's a table with like 5 dudes, and it's like, and like that's the show, and he's like, dude, how do I? It's weird, right? Like you're a comedian, right? Where you do theaters. And you get to this gig that they paid you well, but you're doing it in front of this dude and his 4 friends because this guy makes a lot of money and his wife knew that you like this comedian, so he hired him to come say jokes to you and your friends.
Did you hear about that wedding in I think it was India, that this
India?
multimillionaire in India, and then they hired Rihanna
What?
for like $5 million to come sing for them in their wedding.
Fuck.
I think it was in India, and I think it was Rihanna, and I think it was $5 million. Could have been more, it could have been less, but maybe the story's made up. I don't know. No, but I'm pretty sure I saw this story that
Shine bright like a diamond. Work. No, I get it. Yeah, that happens. I mean, there's people in like Abu Dhabi and shit or Dubai that pay a lot of money to have like, JC
this-
come and rap for 5 minutes.
Or I think there was also this. Maybe it was the same couple who rented out the pyramids in Giza so they could do their like ceremony or some other party there.
Are you the type? I mean, you're already married, but are you the type to do like your wedding in some like weirdo style type shit? Where like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it in fucking Disney, or we're gonna do it at Comic Con because when we both met when the day we found out we had autism.
I think it's no. I've never imagined a wedding. I never thought I was gonna get married. So I never. That's like
Never
a
thought
girl
either.
question. You know, when girls imagine their weddings when they're 7.
Right.
I never had that moment. Sorry.
You,
I
you
always
should
wanted
tell
to.
me. You should tell me you were more the type that you always imagine your divorce more than your
Damn.
wedding.
I always thought that if I was gonna get married, I was gonna get married in the beach.
Okay, that's gay
But that was like in my 20s.
and cliche.
Cliche, right? But but yeah, no, no, I never thought about it.
All right,
Like a Disney, like the Disney couples who get married in
that's
under
fucking.
that's
I think
stupid.
that's gay.
That's sorry.
If I find
sorry,
out my
that's
parents
stupid.
did that, I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. Okay, let me throw some scenarios at you. You tell me if it's weird or if it's cool to ask somebody to marry you. Mid-flight in an airplane,
No,
bad? Because
to ask somebody to marry.
that seems like you're jinxing it, and that plane's gonna fall, right?
What if you do it? What if you do it in a 9-hour flight? You do it in hour 1. What the fuck are you gonna do for the rest 8 hours?
Right.
It's
Because
gonna
you
be
need to.
awkward.
Because the thing is, when you're gonna ask somebody to marry you, you need to have an escape route. Meaning, you need to have a plan B. If they say no, you can just abort. So, if
Felix?
anything, you can tell them at the end of the flight when there's 30 minutes to arrive. You tell them, "Hey, you want to marry me?" And if she says no, you're like, "All right, cool." Well,
Right. What if she says no? Yeah, I didn't think about that part. I was thinking about she saying yes, and then you still have to sit there for 8 hours.
and then realize, fuck, I don't really like her that much.
Right. Maybe
Right.
that's when you realize that you
Right?
fucked
You're
up.
like, shit. She's not. She's completely inconsiderate to my leg room. This fucking bitch. God damn it.
Let's
I'm marrying
see.
her.
When I proposed to my lady, my lady friend,
Lady boy.
when I proposed to her, I had a plan. Like, I never wanted to get married. But then I came to the realization that maybe I wanted to do this and spend the
Okay.
rest of my life with the lady of my
Right,
dreams.
with you know who.
When I came to the realization that I wanted to do this,
When you came to a realization that I have nowhere else to go. Okay.
that she was my rock and was holding me together,
Okay.
I came up with a plan, like what I wanted to do, where I wanted to do it.
Have we spoken
didn't-
about how you did it?
Well, yeah, because I did it when we went on a trip to Spain.
Oh shit, for real skis.
I think we talked about it when we got back to
Yeah,
your
you
house,
did
but
it in
it's been a
the
while.
north of Spain.
In San Sebastian.
Oh, okay, so so let's talk about this. You did it in San Sebastian, Spain, where you did your internship as a cook in a Michelin restaurant. Isn't that
Correct.
the same amount of gay as doing it in Disney?
Well, no, I didn't do it in the fucking restaurant.
Right, but
I
you did it
didn't-
in the city. Okay. Let
No.
me go back.
Wait. No.
Tell me your justification. Why did you do it there?
Okay, so that place for me. Okay, this is where the gayness is gonna come out. That place for me
Okay.
was magical.
Okay. It's okay.
No,
It's okay to be. It's okay to have feminine masculinity.
No, I think that place for me was. I think that was a place where it changed me.
Okay. Is that where you like? You know, like
I became a man.
you were. You were a larva, and then you became a butterfly. Okay.
That's when I grew up and No, I don't know. That place for me held. It's such a special place for me personally that if I that I always talk to her about this place. Like she has never been, and I always talk to her about how great of a city or great of a town it is, and the good moments I spend there, the bad moments, and I wanted her to share that specialness with me.
Okay.
So I took her to my special place and I showed her that I wanted to, you know, make her feel part of my specialness.
It's sort of like I'm asking you to marry me in the place that's more dearest to my heart within my privacy, and I'm letting you in it. And
Right.
that's
Right.
okay.
I think
I
you
see.
you worded it perfectly.
All right, that's cute. That's cute.
And also, well,
I mean, I'm just fucking with you. That's pretty cute. Super gay, but that's pretty cute. No, but the thing is, that makes sense because that's actually a cool way of doing it. You did it in a very unique way that was related to what you cared about. I mean, some argue that you could have gone for whatever was special to her, but I think she was
right.
just happy to, have you get married with her.
I think the good thing is that for her it was a surprise. She didn't have an idea because ever since we were together, I kind of told her I didn't want to get married.
Right, you were just gonna have a kid and then leave. Yeah.
And then yeah, go for cigarettes and milk and never come back. So for her it was a surprise. I wasn't nervous, but I did have a plan. Like my plan was to go to this place where you can see the whole city and it's beautiful. And then we had like a reservation at a restaurant in the old town or in the old part of the town. And we woke up late. We didn't make it to the place. So we walked around the beach and I'm like, fuck it, this is the place. Like this is where I have to do it. So I ended up doing it after the restaurant. Because the idea was to propose and then kind of celebrate at the restaurant, right? So we woke up late. We got there kind of late, and so there wasn't going to be enough time to go to the place and then come back for the reservation. So what I did was like, wait for me outside. Let me check if there's. I don't know what I said. I said something dumb like let me check if they have the table ready or whatever.
Okay.
So I went in there, and I was talking to the girl, and I'm like, "Oh, did you see any notes when I left the reservation?" She's like, "No, no notes." So that made me. I was thinking I had left notes saying like, "Oh, we were just gonna, we just proposed, or I just proposed and we were celebrating." I thought I had left that note there for them to know, but I didn't. So that's why I went to the restaurant first to like check if, I had left a note. Otherwise, to not ruin the surprise for me.
Right.
So,
And you
anyways,
went
we
to a
went to
restaurant?
dinner, or not to dinner, to lunch. We went to the restaurant. It was very nice. And after that, we were walking around the town, and then we went to the beach. And I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it here." And I just did it there.
And it was you with your son and her.
Right. My son was asleep on her backs. You can put him like a little backpack. He was asleep, so he didn't know what happened. So we were just walking, holding hands. And 1 second, she stopped there. She was like looking at the view, and I just kind of kneeled down and went like, "Would you marry me?" I don't remember what I said. I was like, "Oh, I want you to be part of this special, place, and for me, whatever. Would you want to be my wife forever?
My lady.
My lady forever." I truly don't remember what I said, but she does. I thought she was gonna cry, but she didn't. She was laughing.
Really?
She laughed, and I
What a
felt kind of bad.
bitch.
I
Like
felt
laughing
kinda
like
bad.
you felt kind of bad.
It was like a surprise, and she wasn't expecting it. And I guess I thought she was gonna cry,
Right.
but she's like, she started laughing, and I'm like, damn, I'm serious.
And were you
This is
still
for
like
real.
waiting for her to say?
Yeah, I'm like, yes, no. She kept laughing, and she said yes, and she put the ring on, and we kept on walking.
Oh shit.
But she couldn't believe it. So, and I think it rained, and I think rain is good luck
Good
for
sign.
marriages.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't
For
know.
people that are out there that have some creative, ways of getting married, like the ones that do it at a baseball game and shit like that, or at a concert. If you have any weird ones or fun ones or peculiar ones, let us know. Do remember that we're on every platform. You can listen to us. Please do leave comments, critiques, follow us there, share with your homeboys. But yeah,
And the
there's different
homegirls.
and the homegirls. There's different ways to do the whole ringy thing. People like to do it in a place where maybe both have interest in that, like in a movie theater while they watch Star Wars or some shit.
Okay.
Weird.
Are we? I guess we're not people to judge, because, or at least I'm not, because I ended up doing it somewhere. Like I said,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I liked, but I don't know. You see the proposals at like stadiums, like baseball stadium, or at a concert. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the concert, like Taylor Swift concerts, and then whenever she says a line, that's when the guys propose, and it happened a lot while she was doing that.
Why? Because the line says, "Would you marry me?"
I think it says like "Marry me, Juliet." I think it's the line, and that's when the guy's like, and all the effort that has to go through. You need to know the song.
Right.
You need to at least hear it live before, so you have an idea of what comes before, what she does, and
You need to know the set list of that night.
right. Maybe it's the first song, maybe it's the last song, maybe she doesn't even sing it that night.
Right.
Can you imagine that shit if she doesn't sing the song that you're waiting for? Fuck.
I think that's a little crazy. Do you think it's unfair for ladies to put them in a situation where you're like asking them to marry you in a televised manner? That's a lot of
Ooh,
pressure,
those are
right?
cringe. Those are cringy as fuck.
That's a televised situation there.
I think anywhere public where there's a lot of people, you run the risk of failing and looking
Right.
like a dumbass.
Right.
So, when people do it in public like that, it's what if she says no in the Taylor Swift concert that you just spent $2,000 to get tickets for, to take her because that's her favorite artist. Or you can do it, I don't know, in Central Park in New York where there's tons and tons of people around. You run that risk of looking like a dumbass. Because what are you going to do after? Just
But
run?
when you run that risk in Central Park, you also run the risk of looking like a boss and being a viral video. Because some people want that, right?
In a good way or in a bad way?
In a good, well, I mean, good way and bad way, but you're hoping for the good one where she says yes, and then everybody's like, yeah,
And
then
it's
you feel
cute.
like
It's a cute video.
yeah, it's a cute
right.
video. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you run the
But
risk
what gets
of
more views? Good video or bad video? What if she
bad
says
videos.
no? Bad videos. right?
No, if she says no, it's millions and millions of videos of views.
And the
she says,
comments are just ripping them apart.
Yeah, it's like, hey, bro, hit the pen, Franklin, man. You'll get over it.
The Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
I did it in a public place, but there was no people because it was like a gloomy day. So there wasn't a lot of people around. There was a couple who saw us. But
And
they
said
didn't
something.
applaud. They didn't say no. They didn't say anything.
Would
they
you
just kept walking.
Would you want for people to say something?
What are they gonna say? Oh, congrats! I mean, that's cute.
Don't
but
do it. Reconsider it. Read some literature on the subject. No, because like, look, there's people that I bet go to like the Harry Potter world
and do it
in,
there. Yeah,
in Universal and do it there.
I think I know somebody who did that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A girl that I had a fling on with. Yeah, yeah. I think her
Do they
husband,
get the special thing on the car where they can park closer to places?
the blue one?
The blue one.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
maybe I need to get one of those.
No, I think it's cute, the whole marriage thing. People are doing it, but when it gets too weird, that's when I'm like, hey, chill.
People are doing it. Only the best. Are you thinking about?
Whoa, buddy, calm down, buddy. This was not like me asking questions so I can sort of gather information from my own devices.
I have to ask. It's coming,
Buddy.
Is winter coming?
Is winter coming? No, I'm just
Winter is
asking. I'm
coming.
just asking for curiosity.
All right. Let's say you were gonna do it. You're not gonna do it, but let's say you were.
Right.
Do you have a plan already? Have you thought about it? Do you have a place?
No.
Don't if you want, don't give me a lot of info. Just
No, I have never thought of it. But one thing I know for sure is not gonna be a destination wedding. It's not gonna be like one of these things where I go to like a White Lotus hotel that's expensive as fuck. If anything, it will be like a nice wedding in Spain, in the outskirts.
for me, it's a
of
destination wedding because
I
I would
mean,
have to go, and
mean,
I
the
would
fact-
fucking love that.
Yeah, no, I mean, for us, I live far, so that anything will be a destination wedding.
Right.
But it won't be a destination wedding in the sense of like, fucking, we're going to Tulum or,
Right.
I don't know, fucking Greece and shit. No, it's just Spain in a nice little area where they have places that are sorted out for this type of things.
I have an idea, and
Idea.
I had to run it past you because it's going to be on your wedding day, whenever that might be. On your wedding day, after you say yes, forever
Mushrooms.
and ever,
What?
that or slash and we have to record a episode like during the party, like the party's going on, we just sit for I don't know, half an hour, 45. We do a special
Damn, that'll be fire. That'll be fire.
special event, and I'll be waiting for my invite for sure, and I'll make the trip, even if it's like a town hall wedding like I did, the city town hall. I would go.
Here, you can even get married in Plaza Mayor. Mayor, but I mean, you get like many people get married that day, so it is a little bit like
You're one of the bunch. That's
Yeah,
what happened. That's what happened with me in the city hall, not the town hall, the
okay.
city hall. It's like the lady finished, and then she's like, "Oh, good luck. Thank you for coming." Next,
good luck.
B12 next. So you
All
have to
right.
wait. But,
Next are the two lesbians. Where are you? Lena and Fema. Come through.
but
Kiss.
yeah.
No,
No,
I mean,
I-
I hope it can be something a little bit more than that. But I'm not into like making this whole huge ass wedding type shit. I ain't about that life. I think that's more like I want something that I can enjoy myself, and not that I'm like worried like managing shit. Nah.
That's exactly why I don't want a wedding, or I never wanted a wedding. So you're worrying about other people having fun. I want to have fun. It's my or
Right.
our party. You're worried about the lights. I mean, no. Well, I want to give you this idea. The other day at the restaurant I work at, there was a wedding. So they closed down the restaurant. They bought the seating, and they had a wedding. I'm guessing a wedding reception at the restaurant. What do you think? Like, would you do this? Have a wedding reception at a restaurant, and then instead of paying for a venue and a DJ, you pay for closing down the restaurant for the shift, 3 or 4 hours. Have your close ones come in. We have a set menu for you guys. We eat, we drink, we laugh.
I think that works.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not bad.
It'll be cheaper.
It's cheaper. I mean, I think these days you have to sort of play with the day, with the times. Sometimes the money is tighter, so you gotta downsize and do things a little bit more organically, so to speak.
Yep.
I mean, I'm thinking if I ever get married, like a small thing, 50, 100 people max.
Oh, but you want to do a party and
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to, because it's also like the other person that's getting married that would want to.
You guys haven't talked about this already?
Well, if I say yes or no, then I'll be talking about the thing you said I wouldn't need to be talking about.
Okay. You're right. Okay.
But
okay.
my girlfriend, I'm pretty sure she would want to invite a bunch of people if we were to get married.
Like I said, I'm waiting for my invite. Let me know so I can start booking the ticket.
Okay.
But I'll be there. I'll be by your side. Dog, 20 years we've known each other. 25 years.
She has showed me that I would. Yeah, that's right.
25 years. So I'll be there the day you get married, the day you get, you have kids, and the day you die, I'll be there as well.
Shit. You're gonna be there when the plane crashes?
Well, maybe we die together. I don't know. Maybe we're doing just too much mushrooms.
Open. Oh.
Maybe we can just recreate the Titanic scene.
The Titanic scene. No, I mean marriage is a whole thing. What do you think about marriage between the same sexes? Who gets to invite more people?
We should have this discussion when did they become legal?
When did they become legal?
No. The same-sex wedding.
When they stopped sucking dicks. The same sexes. I think in like the 70s in California, that was that movie with Harvey Milk, right? No?
No, but that was like, hold on, I gotta look it up.
Like the days of like the Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyer Club movie.
2015.
Well, that's when the movie came out.
So 10 years. No. Same-sex marriage became legal nationwide June 26, 2015.
Oh, really? Before that?
Yeah.
You couldn't?
I guess not. It was
Damn.
illegal. You could get married, but it was not a legal document.
Right. It was more like, hey, we agreed to sucky each other.
What?
That's fucked, man. Well, if you have any, other info on this, we can talk about it on the next episode.
What do you think?
Yeah?
What do you think about the weddings like in Vegas?
The fuck is wrong with you? Okay, the weddings in Vegas. I
Like
mean, isn't
the
that
ones with
that like a
Elvis.
troll? Like,
Those are real weddings, though.
yeah, but like, do you think people get married like that for real? Or it's just people that get divorced?
My sous chef right now was telling me over the weekend that that's how she got married. She went to Vegas, and they just went to like the little white chapel or whatever.
And she's still with that person?
No, they broke up.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm saying, are there any real people that get married that have real relationships?
That been together for 50 years?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
If you're that person, let us know. We can talk about it.
I think those marriages in Vegas are people that are like high on meth, and then they just get married today, and 2 days later they get a divorce, and the chapels charge you for the marriage and the divorce.
I think they those are called like elope. When you elope, that's when you run away secretly in order to get married, especially without parental consent. So basically, what I did, if you think about it,
right? So you and your girl, you guys are elopers.
Elopers, right?
Of the law.
I mean, at 36, do you have to still answer to your parents?
Yeah, you're
like
still
that?
an eloper, technically speaking.
I mean, that's fine, but did I have to tell my mom I think it's my choice. My body, my choice.
Did it feel good when you were eloping?
It did feel good.
You see? That's all that matters.
There was. It's gonna sound bad. I promise you, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Okay.
But the people that were there were the people that we wanted to be there.
Okay. Just the eloper person and like
just me and the eloper, the other eloper,
and then the person that signs.
My son.
And your son. He was like, "Yep, this is the elopers."
Do you think
not only are they eloping, but they had me before the eloper.
I was gonna ask you, do you think that it's a bad look for those two, have a baby first and they get married?
It's a bad look to have a baby first before marriage. That is a bad look.
Damn.
But hey,
am I not going to heaven?
Oh no, you're definitely not going to heaven. But I'm talking about more relevant issues of the day, like how is society gonna look at you moving onwards?
I always told my lady that it would be kind of cool to be 70 and then she would still be my girlfriend. Like we're always young.
Right.
But she didn't like that idea. She hated it, actually.
Yeah, they tend not to like those ideas. It's weird,
it's
right?
Either married
we're out.
It's either married or not.
Can we have an in between? Gosh.
And yeah, I mean, she didn't like the idea, so I had to settle.
You had to put a ring on it. All right, any weird wedding stories, let us know. Great decision.
Great decision.
I'm sure it was. And yeah, marriage is part of life. I do believe in the institution of marriage. I believe families make communities, and communities are what makes the world go around. Even if you're not going to get married, you should support that system, because that creates this web of communities and people that are part of those communities. Some are religious, some are not. I'm not. I'm more into like the Scientology without the John Travolta and Tom Cruise. Anyways, thank you for listening. I love you. It's Kiko Flo Cervantes from Madrid, Chef Maurice in San Francisco. On to further notice, we love you. Keep it real. Share it. Leave some comments and take care.